Welcome to my YouTube channel, Creating a Classic Cottage. If you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so by hitting the subscribe button below. Now today, I'm going to show you how to create a pendant from a seashell that I found on the beach. With some wire, the seashell, and some Dixie Belle gloss clear coat, you can create a beautiful pendant. This is a live that I did on my Facebook page, Classic Cottage Art Antiques. If you haven't followed me, go over there and do that. And it's a really simple process and it's a lot of fun. So come on, let's get started. So welcome in, and once again, I am Carrie and I am owner at Classic Cottage Art and Antiques located at 104 Milford Street in Bowling Green, Virginia. If you get a chance, stop by and see us. We have all kinds of cool stuff in there. So today, this is my, you probably can't tell, this is my current view from behind here, and I'm excited. So it inspired me to do a craft. I have actually, if you can't tell, I've been at the beach. I'm at the beach and I've been looking for shells. I also like to make jewelry while I'm at the beach because I just can't sit still. But I want to show you what I came up with the little fun things that I found on the beach this week. And I'm also going to show you what you can do with Dixie Belle paint gloss clear coat with this craft. All right, so I've got the Dixie Belle gloss clear coat here, and I've picked up these, and I don't pick up just regular shells. I've got to pick up the broken ones. I just think they're more fun that way, picking up the broken ones. And they got really cool shapes, and I've got my husband in on the fun too, but we have actually picked up a whole bunch of them. And the whole goal for me is to make jewelry out of most of them, although this one I've got to show you because I'm so proud of this one. This one is so pretty. I don't know if it shows up in the light. That's my favorite. It's not going to be jewelry, but it's going to be pretty. Just sitting around. All right. So some of these come out when I wash them, they come out kind of dull. So also, let me give you a real tip if you happen to have this problem. The thing is, sometimes when you wash them, if you wash them in a chlorinated water place, it's going to kind of dull them out and get them kind of really dull looking. I don't know the other word, chalky looking, I guess. I had a shell book a long time ago that said to wash your shells in salt water. So last night I washed these in salt water with just a dab of dish liquid and let them dry. And they still come out a little bit dusty. Some of them came out real pretty and still with the luster that they had. I don't know if you can see, there it is, the shine. But these ones didn't. So I went to my local Dixie Belle paint retailer here in the Outer Banks, and I bought me some clear coat gloss because this project didn't even come across my mind when I left my house this week. So basically I'm just going to take, obviously this is, I also just spilt it all over everything, yay. But see how dusty this one is? Basically I'm just going to paint on, so you can see it maybe, the clear coat gloss. Now normally I use like a slightly damp brush. It's just a little artist brush. Honestly, I wasn't prepared, so I went to the Dollar Tree and got this brush, and it works just fine. But you can see already, I mean, that's just wet, obviously. But I'm going to do a couple more. But these are some that I did earlier, and I've got gloss all over me now. But look at the extra luster that you get with this. This is, I'm not even sure this is a shell. It might actually be driftwood. But look at the difference. This is what it started out as. And when I actually saw it, it was wet, so it looked like this, and I thought, ooh, how cool would that be to put clear coat gloss on there? So yeah, that's what this is going to do for you. So now you're going to say, well, what are you going to do with these now that you've clear coated them? Well, I'm going to show you. All right, and I've got to show you this one though. Look at this one. Where does it go? Isn't that pretty? Isn't nature pretty? God makes the prettiest things. All right, so let's get back to my project here. So I'm going to take some 22 gauge craft wire, maybe if I can find the end of it somewhere. Ooh, it's on here somewhere. Let's use this inch. 22 gauge is good for this because these are still, and when I was looking for these, I was looking for ones that had some thickness to them, and so that they wouldn't break real easily. So I'm going to take 2 lengths of wire, and this is, I can't give you a measurement because it's going to be different. I mean, obviously, look at the different sizes you can get. Now, I'll tell you what to do with those in just a minute. But I'm going to use this one I did with the clear coat gloss. I'm going to take 2 lengths of the 22 gauge wire. Always remember when you're cutting wire, hold on to it so it doesn't go flying before you cut it. All right, I'm going to take 2 lengths of wire, and I'm going to get off of my fingers. And I'm hoping you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take and I'm going to crisscross them, just like so. I'm hoping y'all can see that. And I'm just going to kind of twist it once. I'm going to twist actually one wire around the other, sort of like this. And I'll try to explain, even though you can't really see well what I'm doing. So I'm going to make kind of an X with my wire. Maybe, this wire, my hands are sticky now because I spilled the clear coat on them. All right, kind of an X like that. And then I'm going to place my shell down in it. And I'm going to figure out whichever way I think is pretty. They never come out the same. So then I'm just going to try to hold this up so y'all can see. I'm going to just take it around. You know what? Y'all can't see that one, can you? Let's just use this one because it's lighter. Okay. Doesn't matter. I didn't get too far. All right. There we go. Now you can see better. And I'm just going to take this wire wherever I think I like the shapes. You can follow along the striations here if you want to. You can make designs, whatever you want to do. I like to go kind of like this. And then I like to give it one little twist right here, just to hold it together. All right. It's going to be slippy and sliding around until we get it totally anchored here. Now the cool thing is if you find shells with this little divot in here, oops, this little shape right here, it's really cool because what will happen is you can use that to kind of hold your wire. So let me do this. There we go. So I'm going to kind of use that to my advantage here. See where it can kind of hold on to it so it's not going to slide anymore. Okay. And I'm going to bring it, and I think, I'm going to make this the top of my, and we're going for a pendant now. I probably should have told you. We're going for a pendant. And then I'm going to take this other one up here, and it's going to look all wacky like this until you get it where you want it. I'm going to take one little twist here. Whoops. All right, there we go. One little twist there, and this is what I have so far. Okay, so far I'm kind of liking the shapes of it. Not a problem, but now I've got all this extra wire. I'm going to bring it around behind here. It's going to look like a hot mess back here because, well, you're not going to see that when you wear it anyhow. I think I'm going to bring this one, this might be cool, to bring the second one around this way and up. And I think on this one, I'm actually going to secure it a little bit. Do you see that I'm actually tucking it underneath here? All right, there we go. And the goal from right now is to get all of these wires up to the top so that I can make, excuse me, a bail to hang them from. If I can hold on to it, we'd be good. And right now, I'm just kind of making a mess back here, but we're going to clean all that up in a little bit. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to take this and I'm going to go up under here as well. I like to do this sometimes just so I don't have loose wires just hanging willy-nilly, as they say. There we go. So you can see what I've got going on here. And it looks like a big old mess right now. What I'm going to do now is there's another one. I'm going to tuck him under here too. It kind of helps too because this shell's got kind of a scoop shape to it. All right. So now I'm just going to try and get all of all of these wires up to the top. Okay, up to the top. Can't tell where the camera's at. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tool here. This is a nylon jaw plier. And I'm going to straighten these out because they're a little bit on the wacky side right now. Yep, see, some of them are not going to be the same length. They're going to be different lengths there. That's okay. Now what I'm going to do is, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take and make sure they're together at the top. And I'm going to bend it back, not quite at a 90-degree angle. Okay. I'm going to use a very technical tool now. It's a dowel. And I'm going to come back about right here. And I'm going to take and I'm going to wrap my wires around the dowel. This is going to form the bail for me so that it'll have something to hang on. So far, this is what we've got going on. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to leave this dowel in here because I want to make sure I've got the same size on all of these wires going around. At this point, I'm going to take these tiny little needle nose pliers, and I'm going to take this short guy here first. Actually, I'm going to move these out of the way. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it around my whole stack of wires here as much as I can. This one's a little bit short, but that's okay. We'll hide him under the other ones. Okay. Now I'm going to take these longer wires and I'm just going to wrap them around this little neck that I've created here. Okay. I hadn't planned on spilling the clear coat gloss. It's making my hands sticky. And I'm going to wrap them individually. And I might just start them, and I'm not going to wrap them all at one time. I can't really see what I'm doing. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Here, let's see. There we go. All right. Ooh. And I'm just going to keep wrapping. I'm wrapping down toward the shell. Okay. And I'm seeing that I might need to pull a little tighter. So I'm going to pull a little tighter. So I'm trying to do it so you guys can see, and so I can see, and so everybody can see. And at this point, I might just wrap them all at the same time because they're about the same length. Okay, see where we're going with this? Get all these out the way so you can see. We're going here with this. Now it's still a little loosey-goosey here, but we're going to tighten that up in just a second. So I'm going to finish wrapping this all the way around. And I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to give it a little pinch. And we're going to take care of some of these ends because you don't want them catching the clothing. So we're going to turn them in. I like to hide them underneath the other wires when I can. Okay. Get in there. Don't forget to talk to your wire. Not that it'll listen. Okay. There we go. So we've got this so far. If I can show you my hands. There we go. We've got this so far. These are still a little bit loose, but not as loose as I thought they were going to be. But you can always tighten them up. Now I kind of like the way they look, you know, the spacing and everything. So I'm going to turn it over and look at this hot mess. That's okay. Before I get rid of my hot mess here, though, I'm actually going to I'm going to make sure these little ends don't poke me when I wear it. Okay. So the easiest way to do that is put your finger right here, and if you feel the end of the wire, just kind of squish it in there. That is a very technical term, to just squish it in there, okay? So now I'm going to take the back, which is kind of a mess. Now if I want to tighten up the front, I always start at the back. I have a pair of pliers here with tape on them to keep from marring my wire. And like I said, this is 22 gauge wire. 20 gauge wire, which is a thicker wire, would be too thick for this project because these shells, even though they're fairly thick and all, I think they're a little bit too delicate for a heavier wire. All right, so I'm just going to take, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to twist the wire. And what it does when I do that, it tightens it up on the front. Whoops, where'd you go? And see, it's not moving around. It's good and tight. And I might take these nylon jaw pliers here and just kind of make sure it's down on the end so it doesn't catch on something. Not too hard, you don't want to break your shell. And just like that, oops, you've created a really cute little pendant out of a shell and some Dixie Belle clear coat gloss that I have spilled all over the place here now. And then what you can do is you can take a piece of leather or a chain or something, and you can hang your brand new pendant that you made yourself. Here's one that I did earlier from a different shell. You can see they never turn out the same 2 times in a row. And that's the beauty of this. I mean, you're the designer, you can create it however you want to. They both look like not too big of a mess. Once you tighten it up, it's a lot better. But this is a cool way to use something you found on the beach and make it into jewelry. It'd be a good memory also for you to have. So, like I said, you can take and you can do this. Or, you know, you obviously wouldn't hang both of them at the same time, but just so you can see, I'm going to hang them both on this one, and so you can see. So there you go. So basically, Dixie Belle paint, clear coat gloss, and you can go from, well, that one's kind of dull, to the way I saw it when it was in the water, wet looking. So I mean, and it dried. This one I just did a while ago, and it's dry. I did 2 coats on some of these others. The 2 coats gives it a nice durable finish and a nice glossy finish. So, what do you think? You guys going to try this next time you go to the beach? It's a lot of fun. So, thank y'all for watching, and I would show you my beach picture again, but it got dark on me. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and thanks again for watching. Bye.